What does the model predict the sales will be if the store has 13 customers? So you're going to do the exact same thing, except you're going to plug 13 in instead of 12, resulting in $45. And the next question, explain the meaning of the 10 in the context of this problem. So the 10 is in the slope position, so they're basically asking you to explain what the slope represents in this problem. Remember, your slope is your rise over your run. So what that's telling me is this goes up 10 over 1. The up variable is sales. So sales are going to go up by $10 for every one of the x variable, and your x variable is customers. So basically, sales increase by $10 for every one customer. And you can see that right here in the two things I asked you to plug in. Sales for 12, sales for 13. One more customer increased the sales by $10. That's what that slope means. Next question, explain the meaning of the 15. The 15 is in the y-intercept position. The y-intercept is always that starting point, or it's the y value when x is 0. So the sales will be $15 when there are no customers. That does not make complete sense in this context. If there are no customers, there are no sales. But that's what extrapolation is. Sometimes the model doesn't work for all values. And the last problem, the height of a projectile can be modeled by the equation negative 16t squared plus 200t, where h is the height in feet and t is the time in seconds. What is the highest value the projectile will reach, which is the same idea as what is a maximum. So this has a square in it, meaning this is going to be a parabola, downward parabola because of the negative in front. So we're trying to figure out what that maximum value is. Our calculators will help us do this. Couple of issues. Number one, you want to type your equation in y equals negative 16t squared. I'm using x squared plus 200x. Number two, you want to make sure your plot 1 is off. So if your calculator looks like this, you want to get that off. So press on top, enter, and now it's off. And the last issue are going to be your windows. Your windows might be set up for your, sorry, I did not mean to get that window. Your windows might be set up for your last problem, and you might not be able to see your parabola. So I suggest you go to table, and when x's are between 0 and 10, the graph is already at its 600, its peak is somewhere up in there. So for windows, I want my x max to go at least to 10, and I need my y max, it was up in the 600s, let's go a little bit past that to 700, and press graph. And there's the parabola. I can't quite see it all. I can see the peak. That's all I really need. If you want to see more of it, the minimum, we don't need the negatives, maybe go to 20 on the x max. Now I can get a nice pretty parabola. Calculator will find that value for me by going to second trace, number 4 for maximum. Move your cursor to the left side of that peak. Press enter, move your cursor to the right side. Press enter, enter one more time, and I get the maximum to be 6.25, 625. So the max height is the second number, 625 feet. The first number is your x. That's the time it took to reach that, 6.25 seconds.